Hey guys, NIMA here with MVL Leasing. We get nice cars in all the time, but sometimes oftentimes we get cars in where the spec on the car is really nice and it really stands out. So we got one car in recently that I wanted to show you guys. Everybody likes Ferraris and everybody knows the 488. But when this one came in, this one really caught my eye, and I just wanted to show you guys around and tell you why I think it's special and why it stands out over other 488s. Okay, so what we got here is a 2016 Ferrari 488 GTB. This particular one has around 6,000 kilometers on it. Rosso Corsa, which is probably the most popular Ferrari color. But there's a few things about this car that really stand out that I really wanted to take some time to point out to you guys. As you guys know, the option list for these cars can be miles long, and there's not usually two that are alike. So this one's truly unique for a few reasons. One being, let's start down here. Now, you'll look at this 488 right here. This is a standard black 48, all black. This one being red, you can get the inside of your front spoiler here painted a different color. Most people think this is a wrap, but it's not. This is actually painted. Just like all the stripes that you see on Ferrari 488 Pistas and Especials, this stuff isn't vinyl. This stuff is actually painted on the car from the factory, and this is no exception either. If you guys walk around over here, I just want to show you guys a little bit on the inside. So one option this car has that I noticed right away is what Ferrari calls the gold rake racing seats. So if you look at these seats, they're actually one piece of carbon, or two pieces of carbon fiber, the backrest and basically where you stick your butt, all exposed carbon fiber. Reason for this is that helps you get rid of the electric seat mechanism. It actually lets you sit a little bit lower and a little bit more conducive to motorsport and stuff like that. There's no electric seat mechanism, so the seat is actually able to sit lower. It's got holes in the seats here and at the top in case you wanted to attach a 5-point racing harness. This is for the guys that actually like to take their car to the track and operate it a little bit more safely. If you come around here, I just want to show you on the inside. Not a lot of people do this, but these are carbon fiber door panels. This is all finished carbon fiber with a nice smooth resin on top. All of this stuff is exposed. These vents that you use to control your HVAC and stuff like that, including your tachometer binnacle here, the paddles, the steering wheel with the LED shift indicators, all the way to that side of the car is all carbon fiber. We'll show you another Ferrari, another 488 later on that just has the standard trim, and you can see really what makes it special. The central bridge in there where you use it to control your automatic shifting function and reverse, that's all finished in carbon fiber too. It's a two-tone interior, Rosso and Nero, so and everything's inverted. So anytime you see a piece of red leather, it's got black stitching. Anytime you see a piece of black leather, it's got red stitching, so it provides a good bit of contrast. Another nice piece that's considered special equipment and a special order on one of these cars is your tachometer cowl here. So this is finished in a different cut of leather than the rest of the car and kind of stands out a little bit better. Again, notice all the red stitching that goes along, right along here into the cowl and out the other side there. These things are all really... When you spec out a Ferrari like this, especially one that's got this many specific options, usually it takes, you go to Ferrari and you do a meeting basically, and you sit down and you build the car virtually, and you're able to kind of specify exactly what color of leather that you want, and the options, or the what do you call it? The possibilities are pretty much infinite because of all the features that you can have. This one's even got the red seat belts with the red seat belt anchors. Also back here, these are air outlets that actually derive air from these side intakes and shoot out the back. Normally this is just black plastic, but whoever spec'd this one out opted to have this piece made out of carbon fiber too. The car also has a carbon fiber fog light. On cars like this, the fog light is actually down center in the middle of your diffuser. The rear view camera is also housed down here. So this is another piece, this rear diffuser. This was revised for the 488 over the 458 to provide a little bit better, more low pressure back here, which helps with better airflow. But it's a nice touch because now you have these two cannons pointing out like this, whereas the 458 had the three in here. So it's nice little touches that kind of help update the car. Okay, so we're gonna hop in and just show you a little bit about the intricacies about the inside of this 458. So the first example is the key. So when they switched the 488 in 2016, it switched to a completely wireless key. So like the 458 in California's, you actually had to insert a key. They always had the start button on the steering wheel, but this is the only car, or once they switched to not having you to require to stick anything in. So all you really do is you come in, foot is on the brake. Now these Ferraris are actually pretty well mannered when you start them up. They always snarl a bit when it's a cold start, like in this case, but you have active exhaust flaps that open up at a certain RPM that really let the engine sing. A lot of people say that since the engine switched to being turbocharged, it became a lot quieter. I don't really think so. You can see how it kind of hushes quickly. These are the valves closing just to keep it well mannered at idling level, so you're not pissing off your neighbors or whatever the case is. Every time you hop into the car and you open the door, you're greeted with this nice big tachometer right in the middle. You have two screens on the left. One displays the Ferrari logo, the other one puts the 488 GTB moniker. So again, all you do is you put your foot on the brake, press the start button, everything lights up. What shows up on the right is what the last thing you had on your infotainment, and on the left, this screen is adjustable depending on what you want to be shown. It's not doing much now just because my doors are open and stuff, but right now the last thing that it sees is the turbo response. So from 0 to 100% lets you know how much you're spooling basically. You'll only have that in this car just because this is the only one that's turbocharged.